We're back in the shop for episode 27.
So we got some developments. We got some new rings to try again. And I think we got the right ones. You see, she's laughing there. I'll let you know what's going on, but egg on my face.
So I'm taking advantage of the beautiful sunshine out here today. And there's not much of a breeze, so it's warm. I've got the, still don't know what they're called. Anyways, between the front and back seat on the car there, they're all primed up now. I was working on those in yesterday's video. And then these are the handles for the door mechanisms. And I'm going to paint everything blue, and then I'll let you see what that looks like when I'm done. So they're all painted now. They turned out really well. So I'm hoping you're able to see. There's probably a lot of shadows. And there are the doorknob handles, I guess you'd call them. These panels are pretty broken up, but they will do until better ones come around. A little bit broken there, but that one was the worst one. This one's in pretty good shape. A little bit of a crease, but considering how old they are and how flimsy and thin they are, as you can see, very thin material there. I'm surprised they've come out this well. Anyways, I'm hoping to get started on the console next. That'll be a bit bigger job. So this is the console. This is what I'm going to be working on next. This console isn't original to our car, but we're going to make use of it because that's a really cool feature for us, and we like the bucket seats as well. So hopefully we can get this part reupholstered through the gentleman that's doing our upholstery in town. As you can see, this was from a car that was originally black. This here is actually actual vinyl, and it's got the buttons here. I don't want to pull anything off because it feels rather brittle, so I'm afraid I'll rip it and then he won't have a really good copy to use, although I'm sure he'll manage. Basically get it cleaned up. We'll have to look for a few little things like this here, and I'm not really sure what the other side looks like. I got kind of stuck in a corner here, but it is all in dire need of some attention. I'm not sure if this was meant to be carpet down here or not. I'm having a feeling that it more than likely is supposed to be carpet. Dean would probably know. I'm not too familiar with this console type stuff. So anyways, once I get working at this, I will show you my progress.
This is the box. The parts came in. We got some other parts for another car, Rock Auto. And the rings were sort of laying here like this. So every time this box moved around, this heavy CV axle just hammered it. So this is how I received our new rings. Even the magnet got mangled. But yeah, so I haven't opened it yet. Hopefully there's no actual broken rings in it. But we're going to test them out right now, live on camera, and see if they are the correct ones. And Shauna keeps smirking. I don't know why, but she's smirking. So we'll show you what I can almost guarantee these are the right ones, and I haven't even tried them yet. But we're going to open them up right here and try them. Just got to find that top groove here. And hopefully they're not in a million pieces. Okay, so we'll come over to the engine. Okay, our sealed bag of rings. Top groove. piston. First of all, I'm just going to pull them all out to see. Well, it doesn't look like anything's broken. They're pretty robust. These are the, I think they're the ductile iron ones, not the plain iron, so there's a little more strength to them. Anyway, let's stick this in the bore, and we're going to grab a piston so we can slide it down so it's nice and even. Okay, so that looks pretty good right there. Look at that gap.
As in good gap?
I haven't measured, but that's right about what we should have for gap. So these are the correct rings. So basically what happened is I had friends, Vic, Norm, and Jerry, all asked me at different times, have you measured the bore? And I'm not set up, I don't have, the proper gauges and stuff. All I've got is digital calipers, so I got 3 sets, but they all had dead batteries and stuff, and I never got around to getting batteries. Anyway, I was looking at them the other day. One of them had an extra battery, a brand new battery, so I put it in and it worked. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna just check the block and see what that is. And Shauna's still smirking. She can't get the smirk off her face. And so I measured the bore. A 413 bore, standard bore, is 4.18, I think. That's what it was, 4.187 or something like that. And these measured out at 4 1/4. And so that is the stock standard bore for 426. Now, do I think this is a 426 block? Because it doesn't say, like the later engine says right on the casting 3 to 3440 and all that. This doesn't say that. So I'm thinking this is, and the date code suggests this is the original one for the engine or for the car. What is it? Middle March production, and I think the car is May or something. So it would work being correct that way. Anyway, I think they had when the ones cylinder was sleeved, and then I think they bored it to standard 426 size from the, and I'm not sure why. Maybe just better parts availability or whatever. By the dates on the bearings, they're 71, I think. So probably any time in the 70s that could have been done. So anyway, and then the other thing that threw me off to make me assume is the pistons say standard on them. Now they're, in fact, I'll show you. If Shauna can zoom in, because they do have the part number on them. And you can see where there's a part number in standard. So I looked up the part number, but it's an obsolete part number. And, you could be at it an hour trying to find, an actual, because you look up L and this number, and you'll get every L Speed Pro part number come up of current listings, and which is not what I'm after. And I didn't spend the 3 hours trying to find that exact one. So I'm sure it would have told me it was a 426 piston instead of a 413. So anyway, it's 413 or 426, roughly 60 over 413. The ring gap is good. Those rings are perfect. So this whole fiasco is from my assumptions instead of actually measuring. I assumed, it said standard bore. It didn't say 60 over like a 413 60 over piston. It's a standard bore 426 piston, and et cetera, et cetera. So the ring problem's solved. The gap's good. I'll open the rest of the bags to confirm they're not busted, because they sure got hammered when they got here. But anyway, another thing is the 413 standard rings, same brand, were they $149 Canadian? And these ones were half price. The 426 standard piston rings were like $75. Weird, I guess. Just more. Another, actually, Jerry said some other engines had 425 bores. Maybe Chevys or something. So maybe a lot of the rings are shared with other other brands, other engines. So that would make them, you know, a lot cheaper because more people are buying. But anyway, ring problem solved. Now I just got to get Shauna to put it together.
Yeah. Be done in 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah. I picked up a couple sheets of this. They call it Hardboard at the hardware store. It's a 4x4 sheet. They were like $14 each or something like that. Anyway, that'll be enough to do 4 door panels. You can see the one laid out there, and we'll get another one here and then 2 on the other. This is what was recommended to us, although we had another option. I thought this is very similar, probably the same as the stock material. It's 1/8 inch thick, which is the same as what this is here. So this one's smooth here, and then it's textured like a waffle texture or whatever on the other side. This is smooth both sides, but anyway, I think it'll be fine. So we're going to trace out these panels, all 4 of them, and then we also have to trace out for the power window this here and all the different mounting holes. And then probably the biggest job is going to be where the clips go. Our friend Vic did it on his Charger, and he says these got to be very accurate, otherwise they're not going to clip on. So we will do our best to locate some of this stuff. This one, you know, as you can see, is not really there. Anyway, wish us luck.
Okay.
Our upholsterer suggested making it slightly bigger. I'm not sure why. Maybe to sand, you know, your edges if they don't come out completely smooth. So we'll do that, and by bigger, probably, you know, a 1/16 of an inch or something.
Which is what the size of the length of that pencil, the width?
Well, this board is 1/8 of an inch, so half of the width of this board, or half the thickness of this board. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
that
not
tapers
gonna
off. And so we've never done this before, so.
Is this stuff cheap?
Oh yeah, it was 14 something per sheet, and that's for 2 panels, right?
So if we screw up, at least it's cheap. We can do it again.
Yeah, and you know, because of course our time is worth absolutely nothing, so you know it's not going to cost us there, right? Okay. Maybe you should be doing this. You probably got to steady your hand.
Yeah, I doubt that.
So I'm just running the length of the cardboard, and I'm just angling the pencil out a little bit. Although that doesn't look like it's
Yeah, that's not
too
overhanging very
bigger.
much.
No. Maybe I'll angle it a bit more just so our...
You're just going over the same line.
Am I?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it a little bigger as was suggested. I should have probably clarified why it needed to be bigger, because I don't want to create a bunch of work by having to sand the whole thing to get it down to the proper size when you could have cut it to the proper size to begin with. Anyway, that's my layman's opinion because, again, I've never done this before. Okay, so that's traced. Should we go a little bigger here?
Yeah, maybe.
That sticks out a bit more. I think it's probably just so you can sand the edge so it's smooth. We're going to try using a jigsaw. Maybe just hang it over the edge so we got stability with the table so the board's not, you know, going up and down with the blade. And we'll get a really fine-tooth blade, and hopefully it'll, you know, cut smooth as opposed to ripping the material.
Don't you have one of those little zzz things in it? It has like a little wheel on it. You know how
Like a dagger or anything?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that would work on this, if it would want to burn the board. Like you're talking like a little grinding disc.
Well, no. Oh, yeah. I guess just a little round thing that would just cut, or that thing I bought you for Christmas. I don't know. Maybe that wouldn't work.
Well, we'll figure it out here. I'll finish tracing some of these holes, and then we'll kind of look at our options for actually cutting. We'll find out in a hurry, I guess, what's going to work. These ones should be a little, I guess, you can sand them to size too, I guess, I don't know.
I wonder.
Okay. Well, if we ever get this and it turns out, or, you know, if we end up doing it like it's supposed to, this should be pretty nice door panels. There's a metal top here that was stapled on. These ones are riveted because they were redone, but it was stapled on here from the factory. See, like this. This would be the top of the door panel where you would, you know, rest your arm out the window or something. And you see it's got a bit of a bevel here. So it goes on the panel. So this one would,
Slip
it would
underneath.
go to the back side.
Yeah,
So then,
yeah, if you move it, you're gonna be.
well, I think I'm done tracing, but anyway, you get the gist. This slides underneath there, and from the factory it was stapled. Of course, that's a heck of a staple to go through this metal. It's not that thick. It's probably 22 or 24 gauge. But anyway, we're thinking maybe we'll pop rivet it back on, drill a couple holes and pop rivet it. I'm not sure if the upholstery has a stapler that goes through that or not, but we're just winging it, so that's that. I'll mark it so that the top edge of the door panel, which goes apart, you know, butts up to that metal strip there, I'll use the factory straight edge there so that we get a really nice fit on that piece. And then this is kind of a smozzle to get this right, and I've got a bit of a the bottom of this, as you can see, is non-existent. So we'll probably have to do some trial fitting. No, I'm supposed to be making this bigger.
Just cut outside
I'll
the
just
line.
cut outside the line, yeah. So we're going to have to do some custom guesswork here and maybe fit it to the door to get it right, because both panels are just ragged along this whole bottom, and it's just non-existent. So I'll just cut this a little wider and just sort of roughly draw where I think this is going to be.
It's good you're doing this, because if it was me, it would be stick people.
Yeah.
I can't draw.
Well, we're just drawing lines, but I really don't know how far. I think I'll leave lots of material here. I'll even come out a little further because I'm not sure the shape of this, and I don't want to make it too small, because then we have to buy another sheet, because we can only get the other panel here and then that's it. So this whole section here, I'm going to run a straight edge right along here out to here, but this section here I'm going to cut wide, and I think we'll have to just custom fit it to the door and just trim and cut and stuff like that. So I'll grab this ruler, and I think we're done with this. Oh, we got to do all this stuff. I'll use that other pencil for those. Maybe we'll do that now. Here. Let's get much. I can't remember what a lot of these holes were for, so I'll just trace them all.
Yeah, they don't necessarily have to become holes if they're not needed, so.
Yeah.
But at least
We'll have.
it's there if it is needed.
Yeah. And then. Okay, so done. We got this. These three here are for our New Yorker emblem, but I think the studs are all broken off. So we're probably going to have to eyeball that as far as mounting that and then glue it on or something.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
One was glued on.
we didn't trace all these slots. These are for the aluminum trim. We didn't trace them on the other panel.
Well, we could just put the aluminum trim on the panel. I mean, on the door panel? No?
Well, they've got the tabs, right? So, I mean, you're going to have to hold it up and sort of eyeball where they go.
Oh, right.
Because the tabs stick down, right?
Right.
So I'll just do this. But we forgot to do that on the other one, so we'll have to... But these are just little slots, so if I just get roughly where they're at, we just drill a hole and then use the saw blade or something, of course. We'll see. Like I say, we're just winging it. And then these are for our door clips. That's going to take some custom work.
Okay.
A lot of these are mangled too, so I'll just get the rough area where they're at by tracing what we have here. Oh yeah, these got vinyl on the backside, so I can't even trace those. Maybe I'll make the mark roughly where they're at. Probably have to peel out the vinyl out of these holes so I can trace them, I guess. I can imagine the factory just die stamps these and, you know, probably 100 a minute or something like that. Shauna's trying to get more work out of me, but I don't think I can match that. Be nice to get these disgusting things. You can see how warped they are. Get them out of here and to the garbage. They don't smell good either. No. Okay, we'll do. Guess we'll cut that. Well, we'll cut two like this because they're the same side to side and just reverse it. Oh, and then here, I'll just continue this line straight out. And this I'll just cut big because I'm not sure the exact shape of that curve. So we'll just cut that big. And that's that. We'll get the jigsaw and then we'll trace it over here. Well, here's a fun job. Scraping the glue off the old, where the wood panels used to be. What do you think, Shauna?
Tedious job.
No kidding. I figure I'll drill a couple holes here so I can get the jigsaw blade in there and then see if I can accurately cut to the line here. So Well, I'm doing what I can as far as getting these detail items in for the clips. I just drilled a hole and then using the jigsaw with a smaller scroll blade. And yeah, hopefully that works out. Well, it's the next day from when we started this video. We didn't get as much done as we wanted. There's always just so much other stuff to do. So hopefully we got a trip planned for Thursday morning. It's Sunday today. We're heading into the US. So we'll see if we can get something done on that. And I got that in the shop again. So I feel bad leaving out in the weather. It's kind of sad. Anyway.
Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.